Yeah, the GOAT. Logo threes are back, y'all. Logo threes are back like they never left. Caitlyn Clark doing it to him.
The basketball world just held its breath and witnessed something unforgettable. Caitlyn Clark stepped back onto the court at Team USA training camp, and in that instant, the entire atmosphere shifted. What was supposed to be a routine practice suddenly erupted into pure chaos. Fans knew Clark was returning from a brutal injury stretch, but no one was prepared for the emotional storm that followed. One superstar reminded everyone she still owns this game, while another player seemingly couldn't handle the pressure and walked away. How do you feel about leaving Team USA like that? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The moment Clark stepped into that gym and began warming up, the energy instantly changed. During her absence, whispers had followed her everywhere, with fans questioning whether the magic was still there after so much time spent watching from the sidelines. Her sophomore pro season was completely torn apart by relentless injuries. It started with a groin issue in mid-July, followed by a quad setback, and then that brutal ankle bone bruise that essentially shut everything down. She appeared in just 13 games after a historic rookie run where she shattered the record books 62 different times. The doubters circled fast, ready to claim her breakout surge was nothing more than beginner's luck. Thankfully for basketball fans across the country, they couldn't have been more wrong.
But Caitlyn Clark three-point shot definitely appears to be back. We know she went through a rough stretch where she was like 3 for 30 or something while she was clearly injured. She was clearly injured, didn't have her legs, and she wasn't herself. So it appears that Caitlyn Clark is truly back healthy. The three-point shot is back. The logo threes are back. And what I really liked about that second one is that was going right. A lot of Caitlyn Clark's threes are coming on a snatch back, going backwards, or to the left, or her going left. You know, she liked to go left to shoot her three. So the fact that even though it was a catch and shoot, she was still going on the right side and she caught it and knocked it down. That's a good sign.
Watching her step onto the floor at Team USA camp felt like witnessing a masterpiece come alive in real time. Any hint of rust vanished almost instantly before anyone could even process it. This wasn't simply a comeback moment. She was operating at a speed and sharpness that made everyone else seem stuck in slow motion. And those early shots were far from ordinary warm-up jumpers. These were those unreal deep bombs from the logo that looked like they broke the laws of physics. Sue Bird stood off to the side wearing that familiar knowing look, the kind only someone with true basketball wisdom carries. Bird has watched the greatest ever do it, and seeing Clark control the floor like she'd never left clearly reminded her exactly what championship DNA looks like.
Six guys are on the ball. Hey, both teams, take care of the ball, right? Take care of the ball.
As Clark was quietly reclaiming her throne, Angel Reese began to feel the pressure closing in. Everyone knows these two stars approach the game in completely different ways. But at the Team USA level, individual style has to bend to the pursuit of championships. Coach Kyra Lawson has designed her system around one clear vision. It's lightning fast. It flows like water, and every player must have elite court awareness along with the ability to create space on offense. That's where the cracks started to show for Reese. She built her game on traditional post dominance in a league that's racing headfirst toward pace and space basketball. As Clark was quietly reclaiming her throne, Angel Reese began to feel the pressure closing in. Everyone knows these two stars approach the game in completely different ways. But at the Team USA level, individual style has to bend to the pursuit of championships. Coach Kyra Lawson has designed her system around one clear vision. It's lightning fast. It flows like water, and every player must have elite court awareness along with the ability to create space on offense. That's where the cracks started to show for Reese. She built her game on traditional post dominance in a league that's racing headfirst toward pace-based
Orchestrating at full
basketball.
speed.
Everything finally
came to a
boiled
head.
over during the full-court scrimmage on day 2. Clark was commanding the fast break like a true field general, hitting teammates in perfect scoring spots and making elite defenders look helpless. Reese's frustration was impossible to miss, written all over her face and her body language. When the ball didn't find her, she visibly pouted. Every missed shot or blocked move had her shooting daggers at the coaching staff as if they were working against her. It turned into a complete breakdown of professionalism that had veteran players exchanging uneasy glances across the gym. And here's what made the entire situation so shocking. Reese has built her brand on being the alpha of women's basketball, but the moment she was asked to play a supporting role, everything unraveled. In the Team USA culture, nobody is handed star treatment unless their play demands it. Clark's performance was demanding it loudly. She was drilling contested threes from well beyond 30 feet, then sprinting back on defense to force turnovers. Ree, meanwhile, looked exhausted, dragging herself up and down the floor, rolling her eyes at teammates, and mentally checking out of plays. The breaking point came when Clark pulled up from deep beyond the arc and buried a shot that sent the entire gym into chaos. Everyone celebrated except Ree. Instead of backing her teammate, she stormed to the bench, grabbed her gear, and exploded at the coaching staff. The word was she complained the offense didn't showcase her post-game and that her past success wasn't being respected. Imagine being at Team USA camp and getting upset because the coaches are riding with the player who's literally setting the scoreboard on fire. When Coach Lawson calmly tried to explain team concepts, Ree was already done. She didn't want to hear about spacing or rotations. She wanted to be the centerpiece. And once it became clear her role would be rebounding and defense, not being the go-to scorer, she did the unthinkable. She walked out. This wasn't a quick cool-off in the locker room. She left the camp entirely. The decision left veterans like Sue Bird stunned, especially knowing their legacies were built on sacrificing for the national program. The response afterward said everything. The coaches didn't chase her or beg her to return. They simply doubled down on the players who truly wanted the jersey. Players like Clark and Boston locked in and grinding. And honestly, the real moment to watch was the growing connection between Clark and Aaliyah Boston, moving in sync like they'd been teammates their entire careers. Their pick-and-roll connection was flat-out unstoppable. Boston seemed to sense Clark's intentions before the play even unfolded, slipping to the rim for effortless buckets while defenders were still trying to decode the screen. This is what the future of Team USA basketball feels like. It's built on trust, flawless timing, and absolutely zero ego. When Boston scored, Clark was right there celebrating. When Clark launched those logo-range bombs, Boston was already crashing into rebounding position. Individual stats and social media highlights didn't matter to them. All that mattered was putting points on the board and winning. Ree, meanwhile, appeared far more focused on her own recognition than on actually helping the team succeed. The brutal irony is that in trying so hard to prove she belonged among the elite, she showed exactly why she wasn't ready for that level yet. It might be funny if it weren't so predictable. Ree spent years crafting a tough, unshakable competitor image, only to unravel the moment a teammate outperformed her in practice. Clark, who has carried more pressure and scrutiny than almost anyone in women's basketball history, stayed locked in on the game. She didn't need trash talk or bold statements. Her conditioning and skill spoke loudly enough. By the end of the scrimmage, the separation between them wasn't just on the scoreboard. It was an entirely different level of basketball intelligence. Looking ahead to the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics, the shift in leadership is impossible to deny. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a special talent. She represents a full evolution of the game itself. She raises everyone around her to heights they didn't even realize were possible. And if you can't keep pace, you get exposed. Angel Reese was exposed. And instead of grinding to get better, she chose to walk away. That decision will linger over her international future for years. You don't leave Team USA and expect to be welcomed back without consequences. The coaching staff, led by Kyra Lawson, made it clear Clark was phenomenal on both ends of the floor. Despite months away from live competition, she was fully engaged in every drill and every scrimmage. Her mental toughness stood in stark contrast to Reese's approach. While one player focused on recovery and sharpening her craft, the other fixated on why she wasn't being treated like a franchise centerpiece. The on-court results said everything. Clark looked like the most dominant player in the gym, while Reese looked like someone who forgot that respect has to be earned every single day. This entire episode proves you can't manufacture greatness through branding or social media buzz. You can't post your way onto Team USA. You have to prove it in practice, under pressure, against the best in the world. Caitlyn Clark did exactly that and more. Angel Reese walked away when reality didn't match her expectations. It's shocking, but maybe this team needed to see who was truly committed to winning gold and who was chasing status. The idea that Reese could match Clark's impact took a serious hit this week. With elite coaches watching every move, the gap was undeniable. One player is a generational floor leader who makes everyone better the moment she steps on the court. The other is a role player who fades when the tempo rises and the competition turns real. The moment that role player decided her ego outweighed the national team jersey, the coaching choices became painfully simple. There was no longer a need to manage her minutes or protect her emotions. The focus could shift entirely to the players moving with purpose and relentless commitment. As the next international battles come into view, all eyes remain locked on Clark and her stunning return to form. She's positioning herself as the backbone of this program for the next decade. The way she bounced back from multiple serious injuries and instantly dominated elite competition feels legendary. She didn't rely on forced drama or scripted narratives. All she needed was a ball and the chance to play. The echo of nothing but net, over and over, said everything that needed to be said. That walkout should be a warning to every future invitee. Talent might earn you a spot at camp, but character and work ethic decide if you belong. Reese may have the physical tools to rebound and defend, but her behavior at this camp exposed serious questions about her mental readiness for the highest level of international basketball. The contrast between her emotional exit and Clark's triumphant return will be debated by fans for months. It's a disservice to the game to believe fame and followers can replace fundamentals and chemistry. And Reese learned that truth in the harshest way possible. The other is a role player who fades when the tempo rises and the competition turns real. The moment that role player decided her ego outweighed the national team jersey, the coaching choices became painfully simple. There was no longer a need to manage her minutes or protect her emotions. The focus could shift entirely to the players moving with purpose and relentless commitment. As the next international battles come into view, all eyes remain locked on Clark and her stunning return to form. She's positioning herself as the backbone of this program for the next decade. The way she bounced back from multiple serious injuries and instantly dominated elite competition feels legendary. She didn't rely on forced drama or scripted narratives. All she needed was a ball and the chance to play. The echo of nothing but net, over and over, said everything that needed to be said. That walkout should be a warning to every future invitee. Talent might earn you a spot at camp, but character and work ethic decide if you belong. Reese may have the physical tools to rebound and defend, but her behavior at this camp exposed serious questions about her mental readiness for the highest level of international basketball. The contrast between her emotional exit and Clark's triumphant return will be debated by fans for months. It's a disservice to the game to believe fame and followers can replace fundamentals and chemistry. And Reese learned that truth in the harshest way possible. The most unbelievable part of Reese's complaints about not getting enough touches is that she was sharing the floor with the greatest floor general of her generation. If you can't find ways to score while playing alongside Caitlyn Clark, the problem isn't the point guard. It's you. Clark draws defensive gravity that cracks the defense wide open, turning the paint into free real estate for post players. She gives interior scorers more space and cleaner looks than most will ever experience in their careers. If Reese couldn't capitalize on that advantage, it exposed real limits in her own game, not flaws in the system. The coaches saw it, the fans felt it, and eventually Angel had to face it too. In the end, Team USA is actually stronger discovering this now instead of learning it during a win-or-go-home Olympic moment. This program needs competitors who are fully locked in. As Coach Lawson put it, Clark is locked in. Boston is locked in. Jackie Young is locked in. She locked herself out. The march toward 2028 doesn't stop for anyone. And with the distractions gone, this roster looks sharper, tighter, and more unified than ever. The vision for this team is crystal clear, built around players who put country above personal highlights, driven by excellence and unselfishness. As camp wraps up, the excitement is palpable among the coaching staff. They know something extraordinary is unfolding. Clark isn't just back to her old level. She's on an entirely new plane. Her decision-making is sharper, her leadership more commanding, and the confidence in her voice carries weight that demands attention. Those long months of rehab didn't weaken her. They forged her stronger, hungrier, and smarter, fully prepared to lead Team USA into a new era of international dominance. The gap between her and everyone else vying for a spot was glaringly obvious this week. While other players were still learning the system, Clark was running it, controlling the tempo, orchestrating spacing, and setting the professional standard for what it means to represent your country. Reese may have stormed out, but Clark stayed, grinding through every drill and rep, proving once again that true greatness isn't about performing for the cameras. It's about showing up every single day when no one is watching. Fans are stunned by this shocking turn of events, but anyone paying attention shouldn't be surprised. This is exactly who Caitlyn Clark has always been, and the scary part for her competition is that she's still improving. The chaos at Team USA practice has set a crystal-clear standard moving forward. The future of this program will be built on speed, skill, and real team chemistry, with zero patience for players who can't handle the pressure. What's your take on Angel Reese walking out of camp? Was it a power move or a colossal mistake? Show some love for Clark by smashing that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates.